What's the best way to make people leave your website really, really fast? Present them with a cluttered layout. Imagine walking into a store where everything is out of control. The shelves are packed with all kinds of things, right? Boxes, bags piled up high, clothes hanging off hangers. And you can't even find a clear spot to walk through because you're continuously bumping into stuff or people. And things are knocking over, right? That would really try my patience because it's so much to take in. And I feel so overwhelmed and confused about where do I go and where do I turn to and which aisle do I go to get certain things. I'm going to walk right out the door because I don't want to deal with a business where everything is cluttered. If the shop layout is cluttered, it puts me off. And that's exactly the same thing that can happen when a website has a cluttered layout. It's like walking into a super messy room and people don't want to stay there and figure out what's going on. Where do I go? How do I navigate through this room? When I first started building websites, I thought it was a great idea to try out lots of things to make them look exciting. You use lots of different styles of letters for the words, pictures all over the place, extra buttons because you really want to drive the call to action. I mean, we are going back a good 20 years now. Even then, call to actions were a thing. And I remember working with someone where there was a time where their website was full of stuff, right? I built out their website. They were trying to sell stuff. And we're going back a long, long time. There was no WooCommerce there, but it had loads of stuff on there, okay? Images, wording, buttons taking you off to other places, to their eBay store, whatnot. And I remember at the time thinking, wow, this is getting really, really busy. But the client wanted it. And I kind of was like, well, it's looking busy, but this might work. When I started sharing that website with some friends, and even the client came back to me at the time as well to say they had spoken with people, they weren't sticking around on the website for very long. You know, they take one look, they see all this clutter. You know, back then, websites weren't the most beautiful, but there was always the option of simple or cluttered. And when they saw a cluttered website, they were like, I'm not sure where to go. I don't get it. So they would go elsewhere. And at around about that time, I started to be more honest about what I thought. So I sat down with the client and I said, hey, we've got to clean this up. It's way too confusing and it's making everyone leave before they can even see what you've got to offer, what you're selling. I think it was jewelry. It was bags with some like jewel straps or something like that. And the client started to accept it. So we decided to make the website much more simple. We just pick one big clear sentence as the headline at the top, rather than trying to go on and on about why these bags are amazing or the jewelry. Something about them was really, really spectacular and why you've got to go and buy one. Make it simple with a headline impact sentence. And obviously reduce the amount of call to actions as well, so that if they want to know more or they want to visit the shop, they can click it and go and have a look. After we made those changes, and this is real, this is not a fake story, and I shared it again with the same friends or people we knew, they started to say, yeah, we're starting to get it now. It's clearer. There's a flow. We're not lost. We know where to go if we want to buy or find out more about these items. The best way to describe it is think of like you or your child cleaning up their bedroom, right? Once all the clothes and toys and books are put away to where they need to go, doesn't the room feel so much nicer? Like your lounge or even your kitchen, when you put things away, don't you feel more relaxed when you walk into the room rather than having to search through a huge mess? A website that has too much going on doesn't make it look cool or creative. What it actually shows is that you don't actually know what you're doing or what is important to share or what is important for the consumer or the user as well. And you're struggling to make sense of it. So you're just putting everything out there and hope they make sense of it. And I've come across so many websites that fall into this trap, into this problem, especially web designers. Like they're trying to showcase too much and tell you all about their life and their qualifications and where they grew up and all of that. Is it really important? Is it really worth the effort telling us all about everything? Now, there is a way you can get around that with the same amount of information. Just make it neat. Don't have too many things overlapping and cluttered and really busy, hectic pages, right? Loads of information. Break it up. Don't do it all on one page. Maybe space it out over 4 or 5 pages. You can still relay the same info, but even then, I would say, does the info and the content deserve its place on the website? When you're working on your next website, try to keep it simple, right? Imagine it's a room, okay? And you've got all of this furniture. What is actually needed there? Or are you just going to drop in a chair just because you want to drop in a chair? But no one is going to see it because there's too much else going on, or no one would ever use it. And when you're putting together that page or the website, I want you to take a moment to think about this. If I came to this website for the first time, would it feel easy to understand as to what's going on? Or does it feel too crowded? If it starts to feel crowded, start to take things away, right? Start to hide them or delete them. Bring them back if you want to, or just rearrange and put them elsewhere. It's easier than you think to make people stay on your website and hopefully explore what else you've got to share with them. I hope that helps you to understand a little bit more why cluttered layouts are a big no-no. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share, and follow. I'll see you soon.